Hey guys, it's Liesl, and I'm here to tell you about a rich and decadent dessert, a dark chocolate croissant bread pudding. This dessert is amazing. Bread pudding is good, but when you make it with croissants, it takes it up a level. It's ooey and gooey and rich. You're really gonna love it. Now, it's not on the light and healthy menu, I'll admit, but if you're really looking to indulge, this is what you should try. So here's how you put it together. We'll start with the croissants. It's best to find croissants that are a day old or a little bit stale. This way, they don't completely disintegrate when you put all the liquid on them. Roughly tear up your croissants into about 1-inch pieces and set them aside. Then we'll move on to our chocolate. Now, I'm using dark chocolate in this recipe because that's my favorite chocolate, but feel free to use milk chocolate. I really think the dark chocolate works, however, because it tastes like an actual chocolate croissant. Give that a rough chop, making the pieces about the size of chocolate chips, and then we're ready to assemble. We'll take a 2-quart baking dish and rub it all over with butter so that the pudding doesn't stick. Then we're going to layer in our ingredients. Put some croissants in the bottom, then a layer of chocolate, then another layer of croissants, and then finish with a final layer of chocolate sprinkled over the top. Now it's time to put together our wet ingredients. Basically, what we're doing here is making a custard, and we're gonna pour this custard over the bread, which actually makes the pudding. Take a large bowl, pour in some half and half, and then we're gonna add some sugar, some vanilla, a large pinch of salt, and crack in a couple eggs. We're gonna whisk it up until it's well combined. Pour those wet ingredients all over the croissants and let it sit about 10 minutes so that that can soak up the custard. Just before putting it in the oven for a finishing touch, I like to sprinkle some of the turbinado or raw sugar heavily over the dessert. It gives it a really crunchy, crisp topping when it's all cooked. You're gonna place it in the oven and bake it for about 50 to 55 minutes. It's gonna get nice and puffed and have a nice, crunchy brown top when it's finished. Take it out of the oven and let it rest for about 10 minutes before serving. To serve this dessert, I like to put it in the middle of the table, give everyone a bowl, and let them scoop away. Another great idea if you want to be extra indulgent is to serve it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. So there you have it, a warm, gooey, chocolatey dessert that your friends or your family will love. Make it for a special occasion or anytime you're feeling particularly indulgent. I guarantee you this is one you don't want to miss, so give it a try.